Hi guys, today we will see the basic differences between static class, field class and abstract class, and also we will keep the normal classes, right? So static, abstract and field, and another one is the normal class. Hmm. Static class, abstract class and field class. These are the very big areas where all people gets confused. Be it technical part or any places. As per the definition of static class, so parallelly let's create one project on Visual Studio. We all know that the definition of static class is the class which is something which is where we cannot instantiate it, and also we know that a static class can have only static members, and be it class attributes or be it class behaviors or methods or functions, whatever we say. And we cannot instantiate the static class as per the definition, and the field class as per the definition of the field class, these are the classes which is totally field. It can contain static members or non-static members. And abstract class also, abstract in the abstract class you can have static and non-static members. This is the first difference. The most important difference will be for the inheritance. Yes, as per the concept of inheritance, we cannot inherit static classes, right? We cannot inherit field classes, but we can force inheritance by using the abstract class, right? Now the big question is that if we cannot inherit a static class and if we cannot inherit field class, right, then what is the difference between these two? Then the big difference is that for a static class you cannot create the object, right, but for the field class we can create the object. Yes, then now question is that if we cannot create object of the class, then how we can access its functions and attributes, right? Then we cannot we can access static classes members with the help of name of the class. Basically, what is the need of object? What is the need of object? The need of object is to access the members of a class, which is defined by a class. That is the only need of the creation of object, right? Now see, let's say I create a class console app. Where is the console app? This one, right? And okay, now let me create some classes. We are doing in the same namespace, right? So a static class employee, let's say this one. Then field class department. hmm. Then abstract class, you can say developers. and this is our normal class. Let it be public. Hmm. Now this is the static class. So as per the definition, we can keep only static members. So if I write a string name, right, and if you say address and say email, I will just copy it and paste across the classes. Right. Now let me add one method here. Bit. Right. We are using same properties across the classes so that we can note the differences. Now what it is saying, we cannot declare instance members in a static class, right? So we will have to make it static, right? Means we cannot, a static class cannot give the non-static members, but field class are having all non-static members, but this one, if you make this static, so what it's saying, oh sorry, right, you can see that field class can keep a static as well as non-static members, right? hmm. Abstract class can keep, and also the normal class can keep. So normal class, abstract class, field class, hmm, and static class. So now so public class can keep static and non-static members, which is the normal class. Then abstract class can keep also non-static and static members, right? Third, field class can keep also static and non-static members. uh, then static class cannot keep non-static members, always remember. hmm. Now this is the definition. Now second most important part is that if program class want to inherit from employee class, uh, so program cannot derive from a static class.
अभी हमको खबर मिली है,
हाँ सर,
आपको मालूम है बीजेपी के लोग वहाँ से दूसरी दूर जगह पर जाकर वो लोग खा रहे थे।
कहाँ पे सर?
हमारे वहाँ पर सुबह काम।
So static class cannot be inherited. Okay, now let's try field class. Department also we cannot inherit the field class, right? But we can always inherit abstract class. We need to make it public, right? So second difference is that we cannot inherit field class, and also we cannot inherit static class, but we can always inherit abstract class, because abstract class is defined only for the purpose of inheritance. Abstract means which is incomplete, so it has to be completed by its object classes, means derived classes. Hmm. Now, what is the need? Let's say I'm creating object. What is the need of object? Basically, why we create the object of a class? So you will create object of a class to access class properties. Like this is a property, right? Let's say example a static class. Why you will inherit? Better to say a state class. Why you will inherit developer class in program class? Let's say it's child. Why we will inherit this developer class, right, in the child class? So we will inherit to access these features of this class. If I want to access name, if you want to access address, if you want to access employee, if you want to access this method in the program class, then we will inherit developer class. But how we will access? By using the object. So how we do it? Let's say program class. Now program class. Let me change it first. P name, P address, P email. Now this add employee, let me make it P add employee. What? P add employee. So what is the difference? Developer class have name, address, email and add, but program class has P name, P address, P email and P address, add employee. Now now we will because program class is inheriting developer class, so all the features of developer class will come into the program class. Means all these can be accessed by the object of the program class, right? So P add employee. Let's say I want to access here, I want to access your name. So how it will be possible? We will call this keyword dot name. Just a minute.
You don't create any object.
We will create object. We will create object. Don't worry. We will create the object.
Initialize the class.
Hmm. So actually we want to create an object of program class in main method, like program. Let's say Sanjay programmer. Okay. Now this. So Sanjay is the programmer. So Sanjay programmer means I want to say Sanjay is a programmer. So Sanjay is the object. Means Sanjay programmer is the object. So let's remove it. So there is one programmer whose name is Sanjay. There is one programmer whose name is Sanjay. Now, if Sanjay is a programmer, then Sanjay will write a program. So what is the program name? Sanjay may save the program at an address. So that means it's program address. And let's say remove it. We will not require it. Okay. So Sanjay can do two things. Sanjay can give a program a name and he can save at any address. Now Sanjay is what? Ultimately he is a programmer, but he is a developer, right? So Sanjay will try to access all the benefits of the developer class because Sanjay belongs to program class, but program class inherits from developer class. Now developer class can be accessed by Sanjay. So Sanjay can access what from the developer class? Sanjay can access name, address, email from the developer class. So how Sanjay can do it? So we can first say Sanjay dot name is equal to, just a moment, let me make it more generic. Let's say it program P. Now P can have name. So what is the programmer name? It's Sanjay. Right. Now P can have what?
You can't call because the attributes are not public.
Yes, I'll change that one.
Also, the abstract class attributes are not public.
Hmm. So others are not accessible, so we will have to make it public. But one important thing, Sanjay want to access this address of the developer class. uh, how this will be accessible? Now just remember, Sanjay accessed this P object of the program class accessed name property. Name is not part of the program class. Name is a property of the developer class, right? Now this program wants again address of the developer class, but this is static. So how we can access static
You
member?
can access directly class name dot method.
Right. So
Class name dot method.
field name. So that is not coming. That is not coming. Now this is less accessible. So address is equal to, let's say, Kolkata, right? But this Kolkata has to be with this object. So now how we can do? So we can say that P dot, here address will not come because
That
address
was
is the static,
static attribute.
right? So how we can make it? So we will say that P address is equal to what? This one. No, you cannot write down this. Let it be like, first we initialize and then we put it there. First we will initialize this and we will give this address to P address. Okay. Now you can access email, right? So we have constructed on object of the program class, uh, which has this P access the property name of the developer class, and also this P accessed one address which is getting value from the developer's address class, right? Now what we can do, you can test it out, but are you getting things or not, right? Hmm. So P, now just point over there, expand it. So name is Sanjay and P address is Kolkata. P address means programmer address, but programmer address is getting initialized from developers class address. Right. Now what you can do further, accessing a static class members. Right. Now this p object wants value of, let's say, this employee classes, let's say e, this email, employee email. Right. So now programmer class is not inheriting from employee class, because employee class is a static class. So how we can do, we can say that p dot email, oh, this email is coming, we will take one email here also, we will say programmer email, we will say programmer email. So programmer email we want from employees dot email. That is least accessible, hopefully. Yes, we will have to make it public. Right. Now we will go there and we will say email. Right. mm. But this has to be initialized first.
No,
So
because this is static class. We have to initialize the object.
employee dot email is equal to, let's say, .com. Now this can be used into this. Right. uh, so what you have seen, that we created object of program class, but we did not create object of employee class. Right. And also we did not create object of developer class. mm. So developer class, this p object is getting benefit of developer class address because it's inheriting it. But in case of employee class, we are not inheriting, but also we did not create object. So how you are accessing? Because this is a static attribute. So second difference. Now we want to create object of employee class. Can we create? And one more class is department. hmm. Second difference, a static class cannot be instantiated. Instantiated means this is the instance, we cannot create instance, we cannot create instance. Developer class, abstract class. So also you cannot create the object of the developer class. This is your shield class. You can always create object of the shield class. Second difference, right? So I hope that this will clarify your doubts. First difference is cannot create object of static class and abstract class, but we can create object of shield class. See, shield abstract class, shield class and static class we cannot inherit. Both cannot be inherited. If both cannot be inherited means both are same. Then what is the difference? Then a static class cannot be instantiated, but shield class can be always instantiated. उसके बाद क्या है? Abstract class. Abstract class. So we can also not create object of the abstract class, but we can inherit. Now, keywords. A static class can only keep static members, but shield and abstract class can always keep static and non-static members. So we got three differences. So that's it.